So I am an adult who just saw Frozen 2, and now I will review it specifically to let other adults know what I think of this film, because many adults enjoy the Frozen franchise and would like to hear my adult thoughts. Boy oh boy, this is a review intended for adults and older teens, due to the adult language and filmmaking concepts utilized in the script for this review. This review is not at all intended for children to watch, particularly children under the age of 13. If you are a child under the age of 13, this review is not made for you, and you should turn it off right now. In fact, how are you even watching this? You're not even supposed to have a YouTube account in the first place. Wow, how about you go on YouTube Kids instead, where you can find YouTube videos appropriate for your age group, which, I stress again, this video is not. Okay, now that this video is speaking to its intended audience of teens and adults who are over the age of 13, let us discuss Frozen 2 now. Funding for Schaefer Illis is provided by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. More on that at the end of the video. Frozen 2 is okay. It's really hard to talk about this movie because it's just kind of bizarre. Like, everything pretty much hinges on the story this time around, but the story winds up so vague and kinda aimless. Like, I was really into the first hour. I thought it set up the mystery of the plot very effectively, and I really enjoyed these characters just kinda hanging out. That whole "Here We Are in the Future" song was a nice reintroduction to everything. I thought Elsa's passions really shone through during Into the Unknown, and while Show Yourself later on wasn't amazing musically, it was a pretty powerful scene story-wise. Olaf's song is basically the exact same as the first one. I don't know. It's fine. This is fine. Anna has a song later on that was forgettable, but nice in the moment. I really loved when the tribe in the forest sang the "Na Na Na Hey Ya Na" song. It felt like a great thematic bridge between the first and second movies, and it was a really magical moment. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but my favorite song in the movie was Krzysztof's early 2000s boy band music video with reindeer. I can't explain it, it's just a jam. I've been listening to it nonstop as I write this review. Jonathan Groff is required by law to sing in every movie ever from now on. Overall, the songs aren't amazing, but none of them were fixer-upper bad, so that's a plus. Speaking of stuff in this movie that I thought was way better than the first one, Elsa's pretty good here. She's not amazing, but it feels like we get to see more of her passions through her interactions with others and her journey of self-discovery, and her relationship with Anna is legitimately beautiful this time around. But with that said, every other character is kinda worse. They like completely forgot how to write Olaf. In the first movie, he was relatively grounded in his comedy, since he could deliver lines very quietly and still get a big laugh.
Hi, Sven's family. It's nice to meet you. Because I love you, Anna. I insist you run.
Here, he's mostly loud and a bit annoying. It's kind of like what the people who hate Donkey in Shrek 2 say Donkey is like. But to be fair, Olaf definitely has his moments in this film. The funniest scene in the movie was him reenacting the plot of the first movie. It was just phenomenal. Krzysztof's role is guy who tries to propose but always gets stopped, which, as we all know, is a fresh and riveting role for a character to have in a movie. Then they write him out of the second half of the movie entirely. In fact, they do that for all the new characters. They all get like 5 minutes of screen time, and then Anna and Elsa leave them behind to go follow the plot. And that sucks. I like the general guy. I like that girl Elsa was talking to in the one scene. I like the reindeer loving guy who had way more chemistry with Krzysztof than Anna did. Disney's extreme commitment to heteronormativity is embarrassing, and y'all need to stop calling them progressive. They just want your money, dumbass. Anyway, yeah, the movie has no idea what to do with anyone except for Anna and Elsa. Anna isn't nearly as spunky or funny as she was in the last movie, but she's fine, not derailed or anything. And Elsa's a little more interesting. I don't hate any of her decisions for the first 90% of the movie, and I think she has a lot more agency than she did in the first film. But now we must get into spoilers to properly discuss what doesn't work about this film. Skip to this time frame to avoid. 3, 2, 1, parrots. Ha! Subverted your expectations, didn't I? So first of all, no one was sad at all when Olaf got Thanos snapped, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure that even dumb children could watch that scene and think, no one's ever really gone. So that scene fell completely flat for me. But anyway, Elsa finds out on this magic iceberg that she was born with powers because magic spirits wanted to reward her mother for saving her father's life, even though those powers ended up causing the parents to die at sea seeking an answer since the powers were too strong and led to Anna nearly getting killed twice and the entire kingdom freezing over. Thanks so much, magic spirits. You really Thanks! What a great reward! Honestly, what benefit do Elsa's powers have? Anna tells her at one point that they were a gift, but Do they benefit anyone in either of these movies? Do they lead to anything other than hardship and struggle? And snowmen? I know Elsa used her powers to figure out that they needed to blow up the dam to fix the spirit world. I mean, good thing the magic ice statues were able to tell her that. I don't know, the conflict of the movie feels a little contrived. Like, hey, this giant dam you spent thousands of taxpayer dollars building over the course of a really long time. We just realized now that it's gonna hurt our people. And also the spirits are really mad about this whole thing, but they didn't do anything about it until we started physically fighting. And then this information is so horrifying that it freezes Elsa alive, but not before she sends a telepathic ice message out to Anna that turns into ice statues of their grandfather killing the tribe leader, which makes Anna realize that she needs to blow up the dam to save the day. Somehow. At this point, the movie lost me. I'm sorry. The climax is like a non-climax. Anna just leads the big rock trolls over to the dam and they throw rocks at it. And she almost dies, but luckily the screenwriters remember that Krzysztof is in fact a character in this movie, so he saves her. And the general gets to stand there and block Anna only to make you think that he's gonna be the twist villain for like 15 seconds. But no, he helps Anna bring the Titans over to destroy the dam, and that's it. The conflict is over and Elsa's unfrozen. Yay. And damn it, I was really hoping that Arendelle would get washed away and they'd have to rebuild a new kingdom. Like, forgive me for not being invested in this kingdom ruled by an evil dam building murder man who passed it on to a couple who emotionally traumatized their daughter per the request of some pebbles they found in the woods somewhere. Anna and Elsa having fond memories of their parents. Scratch that. This movie having fond memories of Anna and Elsa's parents feels kind of gross. Those two really suck if you remember the first movie. I mean, this movie sure doesn't remember the first movie. Except every 15 minutes when they remind you how much Hans sucks, or how cringy the oversaturation of Let It Go was, or this damn stupid ass peacock dance. But whatever, let's just get to the ending. It sucks. I'm glad this movie doesn't have a twist villain, since twist villain plus Disney equals bad. I mean, in the context of this individual franchise, they wouldn't just pull that sort of thing twice. But I think we have a new trend that Disney and Pixar are running into the ground. Splitting up the main characters at the end of the movie. Spoilers for this movie about a character who's made out of garbage, and this movie, which is garbage. Ralph Breaks the Internet, Toy Story 4, and Frozen 2 all have endings where a character moves away to explore other horizons, or their dreams or whatever. And the more times a movie ends like this, the less impact it has. Just like twist villains. Toy Story 4 did it best, don't at me. Ralph Breaks the Internet handled it okay, even if it does contradict the entire premise of the first movie. But Frozen 2 does it the worst. The idea that Elsa wants to live in the forest with the other elementals is just so poorly set up. We can see that she doesn't fit in Arendelle early on in the movie, but they barely explore the idea that she wants to live in the woods. It comes right out of nowhere. And Anna doesn't even react to the idea that she's suddenly queen now. They didn't even bother thinking through the implications. This ending just is terrible. So yeah, that's Frozen 2. At the moment, I can't really decide if it's better than the first film or not. It doesn't have any of the same dreadful lows, but it doesn't hit the same sensational highs, not by a long shot. The stakes feel relatively low, partially due to how vague the story is, and that doesn't really make for a super investing narrative. I'm glad I saw it. I mean, Lost in the Woods was worth the price of admission alone. But to me, this is definitive proof that Disney will never be as good as DreamWorks when it comes to making sequels. This is a nice expansion of the first film, but it's not an amazing way to progress the narrative. So, I don't know, 6 out of 10, see it if you want. Or you could do yourself a favor and watch Claws instead. It's a beautiful 2D hand-drawn animated film with character and set designs that look straight out of Rayman Origins, which is awesome. It's a fantastic origin story for the Santa myth and a great showcase of how one act of kindness sparks another. It gave me the feels. The main character is literally just Kuzco, which is a little jarring, but it still works well in the movie. And the plot towards the end is a little generic and played out. But honestly, those are kind of nitpicks. I don't really have a ton of big problems with this movie. It's funny, it's endearing, it's gorgeous, and it deserves your attention. I know this isn't a full review, but like 8 out of 10, it's much better than Frozen 2. Gather the family, fire up Netflix, grab some hot cocoa, curl up by the fireplace, and enjoy this amazing film. And if you're passionate about the movie, then talk about it on your film blog. Hell, talk about anything you're passionate about online. Share your photography, sell your own homemade products, contribute something meaningful into this world on your very own platform that you have full control over. Make it happen with Squarespace, an intuitive online website building tool that'll make your business stand out with beautiful, easy to use website templates. You can auto post your content to Twitter, Facebook, or Tumblr simultaneously. Talk about convenience. All your posts are optimized and tagged properly, so descriptions and titles will be correctly referenced. You can set up your own podcast with a Squarespace site. With audio blocks that support podcasting, you can embed audio on your site and tag the audio for iTunes if the audio block is placed into a blog. It's extremely easy to check analytics and see how your visits, unique visitors, and page views trend over time. Gain insight into your top traffic sources, products, device types, browsers, and operating systems by visits. You also own all of the content you put on the Squarespace platform with one-click data portability offered. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/ShayFrillis to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.